Well, I'm back at Hoi Kieng Nature Park. Wait, sorry. It's pouring with rain, as you can see. It is the rainy season proper now, July. I haven't been here for 3 weeks. Well, this is the place I slipped over last year in the rainy season on the slope. I'll be more careful today. The big pool, very nearly full now. Now, I collected the cameras in yesterday evening for me to check last night, and I'm determined to get them back out into position today despite the rain. So you just never know what we might get. Pangolin tree. Rocky pool. And a very muddy pool. And here at the place that I mentioned in a recent clip, a little pool in the track that we normally use to drive into the park, and where I've now put a camera and everything seems to be turning up. Hi everyone, a quick update from Hoi Kieng Nature Park. It's the 5th of July. I just got down here last night. I'm gradually going through the clips on the camera traps, and I know we've got some really interesting stuff, so I want to show you that. I'm soaking wet. I've just come in from the park. We just stumbled across a blue-winged pitter's nest, which is really exciting, and I've got 2 other really exciting birds to show on the clips, as well as a lot of civets as well, and a few other things as well, so watch out for that. In the meantime, I'm just going to take you off the tripod here and take you outside while it's still light, and then we can actually see, for those who don't know the area, what it's like here. So I'll just turn the camera around. The hills in the background there are Tong Pa Pom National Park. And then this area of land, this forested area lower down, is Hoi Kieng Nature Park. And then we have the bit of garden area where we grow our fruit around the house. Down below there is quite a drop, and it goes down to the river where we used to get elephants bathing sometimes, but they've moved on to another area now. And then if we go around to the other side of the house, sorry, the camera is on auto, so it's changing exposure. And then over here is, again, we got some fruit that we tried to use to help finance the place. Orangutans will eat ourselves, or what's left over. Actually, it's quite a lot left over this year. Normally the hanging parrots take most of those, but we're going to actually get some to eat ourselves. Then in the middle is the rubber plantation that we also use to help finance the conservation project. And then up above, that's a very interesting community forest. That's quite a large area, and at the moment I'm trying to get a grant to help me put trail cameras up there and see what wildlife. We know there's some very interesting stuff up there, because we did actually put a camera up there one time before, and also we've seen stuff when we've been exploring up there. So hopefully this coming winter, November, December through to about April, we'll have cameras up there doing a survey. Okay, let's get back inside and I'll work on those clips and put a little highlight reel together. Well, no new pangolin clips at Pangolin Tree, just a frisky pair of grey-bellied squirrels. And just look at this, a blue-winged pitter adult with a chick that it's feeding. We assume this adult was from the nest nearby, where we've seen there are 5 eggs, but clearly this is a different individual. How many nests do we have on the land? We found another nest yesterday with 6 eggs, one of which had literally just hatched, and the chick was moving, the shell was still in the nest, but the other 5 eggs hadn't hatched yet. And we found at least one other nest as well with 6 individuals that have hatched out. And now look at this, wonderful. We got our first red-legged crake on the land at this time last year, but this year they've turned up as a pair. My goodness, I really hope they nest somewhere here in the park. And another pair of blue-winged pitta at Rocky Pool, in the company this time of the Malayan night heron, which is so often here. And how about this? At that pool in the track that I mentioned earlier, a pair of lesser whistling ducks. The first confirmed record on the land. I've seen them fly over, but at last we've got some images of them in the park. And here again with one of our most frequent visitors, a white-fronted water hen. Now, the remainder of the clips are going to be from a remarkable night, the 21st into the 22nd of June. It's now 7:56, and look at what has just turned up. A large Indian civet. I think this one may be the juvenile that we had over the winter months and has now grown up. Note those white hoops around the tail in this species. And then just 10 minutes later, a large spotted civet. You can see a lot more spots on the body of this one, but the most easy feature to identify it from is the tail. You will see the last probably half to a third is all black, and although there are some white markings on the tail, they don't completely encircle the tail. Then at 11:25, large spotted civet back again. And just 45 minutes later, a small Indian civet. Very distinguishable, this species, easy to tell apart from the other two. Beautiful, delicate looking animal. Two hours later, and the small Indian civet back for another visit. And only 20 minutes after that, the large spotted civet back in again. Then at 4:05, another large Indian civet, not the same as the one that was here earlier in the night. Very different markings on the neck, and I believe this is the mother of the younger one that we saw earlier. She's the one that has the kink in the tail, you can see there, and the markings around the neck are quite different. Well, would you believe it? In order to try to avoid driving through that track pool, as we are now calling it, I've gone and got my car bogged down. It's the end of the day as well. We've got about an hour before it gets dark. So I've had to walk across the land to find Nye, and he's gone to get another vehicle and some rope and some wooden planks and bits and pieces. And at first we couldn't shift the car at all, but by digging out some of the mud behind the wheels and putting wooden planks in, eventually, before it got dark, thank goodness, we managed to get it out. The joys of conservation work. Now we can go home and have a nice cup of tea, or maybe something a little stronger.